Hi, welcome to Halloween Horror Stories with me, Emily Jane FX. In this tutorial I will create the makeup of Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter, but I'm also going to talk about a famous American female serial killer, Jane Toppan, so stay tuned. In the Harry Potter series, Bellatrix is our favourite female villain. She kills her cousin Sirius Black, her niece Nymphadora Tonks, and she even kills Dobby. Jane Toppin was born in 1854 in Boston. She was the daughter of Irish immigrants. Unfortunately, her mother died of TB when she was just a baby, and her father was an abusive alcoholic. There were rumours that at one point he totally lost his mind and sewed his own eyelids together whilst working as a tailor. At just 6 years old, she was taken to the Boston Female Asylum, never to see her father ever again. In 1885, she trained to be a nurse. She was well liked and friendly, and ironically became known as Jolly Jane. She picked her favourite patients, who were normally old and sick, and started to use them as guinea pigs. She would give the patients a mixture of morphine and atropine, which kind of cause opposite side effects, bringing them in and out of consciousness, and sometimes she would even get into the bed with them. She seemed to get a strange thrill from this. After this, she embarked on a killing spree. She befriended her landlord and his wife, but killed them after, in her words, they had got old and cranky. In 1889, she was sent to care for an unwell 70-year-old lady called Mary MacLear, but instead she poisoned her. A month later, she killed one of her good friends by poisoning her with strychnine, which is a really toxic, colourless pesticide which causes convulsions and death by asphyxia, just because she wanted to have her job. Jane then set her sights on killing her own foster sister. She took her for a picnic but had laced it with strychnine. Jane later quoted, "I held her in my arms and watched with delight as she gasped her life out." She then moved into her sister's house and actually tried to marry her widowed husband. Within 3 days, she had killed his housekeeper. She then took over and tried to make him fall for her with her housekeeping skills. He didn't want her as a housekeeper or a wife, so she thought she would poison him and then nurse him better to win his affections. This didn't work either, and he eventually kicked her out of the house. Her reign of terror ended in 1901 when she was arrested for murder. A Massachusetts detective had been following her after she killed the entire family of Alden Davis. She had rented a house from them but stopped paying the rent. When Mrs. Davis came to confront her, she killed her with morphine and atropine. She then moved in with Alden to take care of him, but she killed him and also his 2 daughters. Luckily, one of the daughters, Minnie, her father-in-law, told the police that it was really suspicious that the entire family, who had been completely healthy, had all just dropped dead. This caused the police to exhume the bodies, and the toxicology report showed that they had all been poisoned. After her arrest, Jane Toppin confessed to killing more than 31 people, possibly up to 100. She said she started killing because she got dumped when she was 16, and that if she'd have been happily married, she would never have killed anyone. She also said it had been her ambition to kill more people, helpless people, than any other man or woman who ever lived. The judge ruled her as insane. She then lived the rest of her days in Taunton State Hospital, and she lived until she was 84. Okay guys, this is the finished look of my Bellatrix Lestrange makeup tutorial, and also the crazy story of Jane Toppin, the female serial killer. I kind of can see some parallels between the two women. Can you? Goodbye.